Redmi here, and welcome to my full in-depth review of Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. When you start introducing with phone's external and internal hardware, it starts to be impressive because if you consider a phone's price, this is a really good device. And let's start with the front side. On the front side we have IPS 5.5 inch screen, it's Full HD resolution, 1080 by 1920 pixels, and it have a 103 ppi pixel density. On the top of the screen there is in-call speakerphone, and a little bit right between camera and speakerphone there is a proximity sensor. You can't see it on video, but it's there. And we have a 5 megapixel f2 front-facing camera. It can record 1080p. And here on the right side there is a LED notification light. You can't see it, but it glows really nice, and it's really practical for phone to have this. And now moving on the button side, you can see the phone have 3 capacitive touch buttons. They have a backlight, which is always a must. By default they have a vibration feedback, and I personally didn't like it because it is too long for my taste, and I couldn't find a way to shorten a vibration time. Some people like it, but I personally don't, so I turned that feature off. On the left arm side there is a SIM tray slot, and this phone supports dual SIM, also with dual standby mode. It's really important to know that this phone doesn't support a micro SD card, and you have two versions of this phone. The first one is 16 gigabytes of storage memory and 2 gigabytes of RAM, and second one, which I have here, is 32 gigabytes of storage memory and 3 gigabytes of RAM. My suggestion is to go with expensive version of this phone, so 32 gigabytes of storage and 3 gigabytes of RAM. And moving on right hand side we have a power on and off button, sleep and wake, and also we have a volume up and down button. They are really well made, and like I said in my hands-on video, there is nearly no difference between these buttons and buttons on iPhone 6 and 6s. The feedback is really good and they feel solid. There is no any movement on sides, really well made. On bottom side we have a micro USB port and microphone, and on the top side we have a infrared 3.5mm input jack for headphones and one more microphone, I believe. And finally let's move on backside. Nearly complete backside is made of metal, just bottom part and top part are made from plastic. On the bottom part we have a Mi logo with speakerphone grill. Keep in mind that this speakerphone is mono, so the sound is not really great. On the maximum volume it has a bit of distortion, so Xiaomi should work on this and put a stereo speakerphone in future. And now moving on top part, we have a fingerprint scanner, which works really well. In my case, it works nearly every time. And like I said many times, I'm an iPhone 6s user, and if you read or watch the reviews, you should know that fingerprint sensor on 6s works really well, and it's really fast. And after using this phone for a few days, I really didn't notice any difference. It works really good, so Xiaomi gets my recommendation for this really good implemented fingerprint scanner. On top of fingerprint scanner there is a dual LED flash. It's not bad, it's good, it takes really nice night shots. I will include pictures later in the review so you can check them out. And on nearly top part of the phone, we have a 13 megapixel sensor. It features the face detection and autofocus. In my testing, it proved that it works really nice. It could be better at low light, but still, after comparing the pictures with my phone and this one, the pictures on Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 are a little worse, but still I am comparing it with one of the best camera phones, so I'm generally satisfied with this camera. Let's power on the device now. And now when the phone booted up, let's speak about the screen. The screen is nearly same unit like on Xiaomi Redmi Note 2. It's full HD screen. The viewing angles are quite decent, as you can see. It's set to auto brightness, but if you move slider to the maximum, it's quite a bright screen, not the best, but still decent in the class. Now I will show you how the screen performs on sunlight. There is a lot of glare, but it's visible, colors got washed out. From the angles you can't see anything, so it's just the option to look directly on the screen. It is usable, nothing special. There are a lot of better screens on the market, but still in this class I believe it's decent, but you can judge by yourself. And let's go back on fingerprint scanner. To have it working, you don't need to wake up your phone, but you need to have turn it on some kind of protection. I have a pattern here. So when you set up your finger, you just need to put your finger on scanner and boom, it works. And it's really fast, it's practical, you can set up more than one finger. I really like how they implemented it. It works nearly every time. I rarely get a vibration. When you get a short vibration, that means that scanner didn't recognize the finger, and you get a sound when it works and the phone unlocks. It's really good, it works really nice, and I really hope that other Chinese manufacturer implement good as this fingerprint scanner. And now let's speak a bit more about phone internal hardware. The processor in this phone is MediaTek MT7695 Helio X10 octa-core processor, which works on 2.0 GHz. It is combined with PowerVR G6200 graphic chip, combined with good hardware and Android 5 Lollipop. The phone performs really well, and now I will show you how much free RAM it have. When you boot up the device, you have 1.9 gigabytes of 3 gigabytes RAM available, which is really nice because you have nearly 2 gigabytes of RAM available for user applications. On the 2 gigabytes version of this phone, you will probably have 1 gigabyte of free RAM, or around 900 megabytes, which is enough, but more is always better on Android. But more doesn't need to mean that it's better in every case. The manufacturer needs to optimize their phone, or better to say software, so it performs really well, and management of RAM needs to be top-notch. Xiaomi did a good job with optimizations. I'm satisfied in that department. There are really neat features implemented in Android itself on this phone. So let's say if we go into the notification bar, you have a lot of options. What I like, you have a show connection speed. So when you're connected on Wi-Fi or 3G, you can see the connection speed in that moment. So it is really nice that they implemented additional features. One-handed mode, I really like this. Basically you can choose the size. In my case I love 4 inches, and now I'll show you how this works. Let's say you're walking on street and you want to do something on your phone, but you hate when you need to do this. Move the complete of your phone so you can touch a top part or top left, top right. It is really hard on the phone of this size to touch every corner of the screen. So what you do this, and everything is possible now. What you need to do is to put your finger on middle capacitive sensor and then slide it, and it works. And it works on both sides. It is really good, and you can change the sizes. 3.5 inches like all iPhones. It works like a charm, and I really liked how this is implemented. It is really practical, and every bigger phone needs to have a feature like this, and it's usable in practical way. It's not something it have, but it's complicated to use. This just works. The phone also supports Teams. You have an online store where you have a free or paid Teams. I downloaded one just to show you how it looks. It's Windows 10 theme. It's not bad at all. It have this nice feature that last place when you clicked you have a mouse cursor to show up. This particular theme supports this. This is so-called imitation of Windows 10, so it's nice. There are different variations of these themes. Every of them have some nice cool things. It's interesting. When you get bored you can change how your phone looks like. I will show you a benchmark results, and this phone supports 2 modes, normal and performance mode. I did test for both modes. This score is for normal mode, and this one is for performance. It's nothing major in difference, but still it is a feature and it's nice to have if it works. And in this case there are different, so we can say that it works. I will show you how the phone performs in gaming, and let's start with Mortal Kombat. I'm playing this game the first time, so don't be hard on me, because I don't really know how to play it. I just want to show you the 3D performance. And performance is quite well, if you ask me. When you play intensive games like this, the phone gets hot in this part here, but it's nothing major. It's just a low amount of heat. It will not burn your hand. The phone is still nice on touch. It works nice. Fingerprint sensor. It works every time. I just love it. Camera performance. The phone camera, like I said, the back sensor is 13 megapixels. It is f2.2, and the front-facing camera is 5 megapixels with f2.0. The back camera can record full HD video, and the front one also can record full HD video, but it doesn't have autofocus. Of course, the back camera have autofocus. The camera interface is simple and practical to use. As you can see, the focus is really fast. It gets the job done. In low light it can struggle, but the camera have dual LED flashlight and it helps a lot in hunting that focus. Now I will show you a real life camera samples, video and pictures, and you can judge by yourself how good this camera is. Testing a front-facing camera with decent lighting condition. So in this case, the light is going on my face directly, and as you can see, the camera is pretty decent. And now more realistic indoor scenario with lighting not going directly in my face. The phone have a 4000 mAh battery, and the battery life is really good. If you don't get a battery leak by some application and everything is normal, With normal use, and with normal use I mean not a lot of gaming, you can get 2 days, I assure you that. And if you're really just messaging, voice calls, you can get even more, but that's really depends of your style of use. You can get a full charge from like 10% or 100% in something about 2 hours. Not a lot more than 2 hours, but let's say around 2 hours and 15 minutes. And as we are coming to the end of this video, my final judgment. Well, as I am somebody who have a lot of experience with premium devices, I'm really impressed with this device. For a little bit more than 200 bucks you get device which feels premium and which works premium. The design is really good. There is just no use to spend words on that, because something like this which feels so good in hand, and the back side which is nearly all metal, the phone sits in hand really good, the fingerprint sensor works nearly perfectly. There is one short story from me and my friend. When we didn't have an option to buy a premium device, and when the iPhone 5 was a flagship from Apple, there was one story how good it is to wake up and pick up your phone and feel that metal, the cold metal, which feels so good. And a few days ago, when I got this device and started using it, I was going to sleep and put it on floor, and when I wake up I pick it up and that feel was there. The metal was so cold, and there was no crunching, anything. The device feels so solid and well made, combined with good software. But keep in mind, there is no perfect software, nor Android or iOS. And I really can't say bad words about this. If you like a design, and if you don't want to spend a lot of money on phone, just buy Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. There is nothing more to say about that. I hope you enjoyed watching this review. There are links in the description for both versions of this phone, and I got it from the GearBest. I am generally satisfied with how the phone was packed, and the shipping time was about 2 weeks, and I don't calculate there how long I waited to get it from the customs. And please like my video and subscribe, it means a lot to me. Also, in the future I will have a lot more interesting videos coming. And until next time, see ya!